Hello, welcome to the Head on Head News Cabin. Hope everyone's doing all right today on this quarantine Monday, April 6th. We're just going to take a look at the Worldometer's numbers, a little bit of an improvement. So I hope that this is a sign to things to come. But we don't know, certainly is a bad period in terms of the pandemic, in terms of the lockdown, the shutdown. Everyone is feeling it. So we're going to take a look at those numbers, and then after that, I'm just going to talk to you guys about the right to repair movement that I think is very relevant to what's going on right now with everyone being so connected only virtually, is doing things hands-on and teaching people how things work, and the process of mechanical mentorship and being involved in your community, and learning things that you don't know about is something that is very helpful for everyone involved. So I just want to talk to you in general about what the right to repair movement is, why it is awesome, yeah, so first we're just going to go in directly to the Worldometer's numbers. And one thing to note, there will be no reading today. So if the last two videos you really don't like those because I was just reading an article, not happening today. All right, but right, the numbers are, here we go. So 1,289,000 deaths, cases, 70,000 deaths. Here's the curve. And look, guys, look at that. After the 3-day plateau, we have a definite decrease. This can only be seen as something positive. So it looks like social distancing is working. The measures that we're taking, maybe not as effective as other countries. We have to continue to do our best to stop the spread. We know there's a bunch of tools and all of the changes that we've had in our daily lives. We hope that they've, definitely had this effect. So, good news. But I mean, there's almost 10,000 deaths in the U.S. So, all right, guys, that's it for the depressing coronavirus numbers. Now, I just want to talk to you more about the right to repair movement. So I think it's something that if we look at the divide between how people live in the city and how people live in the country, it's something that is very important, for different types of people to have the opportunity to learn how things work. And there's so many kids out there that don't have access to a workshop, to an older person that can teach them how things work. And so the right to repair movement is something that was started years ago, and it's basically all these different ways that companies and society have to de-incentivize us from fixing our own things. So there's specific things like how John Deere and different tractor manufacturers don't allow farmers to fix their own tractors. And I have friends who fix their own tractors and they have to get around this. And now there's actually, because there's a lot of other farmers who want to fix their own tractors, some of the tractors that are older models, before they put in certain parts of the electronic components, those are worth more because farmers do want to fix their own equipment. Other parts of it is how, on whether it be appliances, all different types of appliances, you have to bring them back in to get serviced. There's all sorts of reasons that aren't nefarious about why companies try and prevent people from fixing their own things. Some of them have to do with safety and liability. Some of them have to do with the supply chain. There's all of these different reasons why companies want to separate the purchase of the product and the service of the product. I can relate that to my time selling software, where you have a purchase plus maintenance model. So there's all these different business reasons why it makes sense for people not to be able to fix their own stuff. The thing is, from a societal perspective, from a learning perspective, from a perspective of us being self-reliant, there's all these reasons why we as different communities want to stop that from happening, and we want to, in effect, try and, not artificially, but in many ways, do things to stop companies from not letting us fix our own stuff. And so there's a lot of different ways to go about that, and people are already doing that when it comes to things like maker spaces. Definitely something that you should check out. I'll put some links to some different maker spaces in the description to the video. But what these are is these are community workshops. And there's all different types, there's all different structures. Some of them have all different types of specializations of fabrication, of welding, of carpentry, and then there's other ones that are much more basic. There's so many different ways that these things are set up, and they are popping up everywhere. The one that I have been exposed to here in Boston is Artisans Asylum. I went there when it was on Joy Street, and then now where it is over, where is it? Right by Brooklyn Boulders. Anyways, it's an amazing facility, huge warehouse. I have friends that that use the space and that are members there, and the stuff that you can accomplish there is absolutely amazing. So if you're in Boston, definitely check out Artisans Asylum. Nothing but, I mean, they're just an absolutely amazing organization. And there's other ones that are popping up everywhere, and basically it's because we have this craving as we live in a throwaway culture, as we move to a different city, as it feels like we don't have any contact to building, fixing, creating. It's a natural, innate thing for so many people to want to fix their own stuff. And that's really what the right to repair movement is. It's about people coming together and saying we want to fix our own stuff, which is really, it's bigger than that, right? To me, it's about communities coming together and learning by doing. It's about people valuing the things that they have. It's about knowing who is the person that builds or fixes it, because when you fix something, you understand that no matter how smart you are, no matter you need other people to help you out. And that teamwork is such an important dynamic that even someone who is an old timer with all sorts of experience, they come upon a problem and they're like, I don't know how to figure it out. And they know that they have a friend though, or they have someone that is more of an expert in that specific part of the problem that they're trying to figure out. So there's so many reasons why the right to repair movement is important for our education. And I also just look at it from the perspective of when you come upon a mechanical problem and you're able to fix it, there's so much self-confidence that gets built, for children or with adults. Even with me, when I just now figure out how to fix something, and it's like, because I've had over a long period of years experience of not being able to fix stuff and then learning how to fix stuff. I'm from Maine. I think that from the get-go, there's more of an emphasis on fixing things if you're from a rural area like I am. And then also I was in the military as an aircraft mechanic, and then so I came upon all sorts of different problems that I had to improve my mechanical skills. And that being said, that's not even, I still, the thing is, when you look at mechanics, everyone's always doesn't know everything, and that's what I really think that the right to repair movement is it's about communities deciding to come together and be able to fix their own stuff. I think it's an incredibly important movement, and mechanical mentorship within the community is such a great way for intergenerational communication to increase. And I think that this is something that definitely we'll look at in 2020. Older people and younger people have far less contact. Obviously now with the coronavirus during this period, contact between generations has, pretty much stopped for safety reasons. But once we get through this, we have to realize that learning from our elders is important, and that older people benefit so much from learning too from younger people, from having that contact, is something that, the less we have of that, the really, it's a sad thing in society when you separate out nursing homes and the earlier generations, and it's something that we really need to focus on and make the effort. And I think that that is something that is definitely true within the right to repair movement. It's often not, it's about, you want to fix it yourself. You want to learn from older people, even if they're, they have quirks and they can be annoying and all these different things that make it hard to work with older people. It's so important for society that everyone feel included and that we really focus on that younger people have the opportunity to learn from someone who has different skills than their parents, right? And that's the thing is that, mechanical expertise, ability, is not separated equally amongst people. And then it's also just because of our lifestyle now, there's less and less people that can spend their time becoming good at certain things, right? Because, parents are so busy. Where are they going to find the time to teach their kids the difference between a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver? And there's lots of parents, they're saying, well, I've done that, and that's great. But we all know that these types of basic skills are going down, and it's a problem of safety in our society. There's so many reasons why you should check out the right to repair movement, why it's important for everyone today. All right, well, thanks you for joining me and listening to me talk about what I think is something that is tremendously important, and I think that it will gain steam here in the next few years. I think that we will hear more and more people get involved and try and teach their communities how things work. All right, keep your hat on your head.